Hello, this is Ron from Ron's RC and Drone channel. Today I have another video concerning the DJI Smart Controller. I made a video last week where I talked about my issues getting it to connect to the internet, and was having no luck. I wasn't getting the support I needed from DJI, but I finally was able to work through it. Day or two after making the video, I was finally able to get the smart controller to connect to my iPhone 10's hotspot, and I was able to get it to connect by changing the name of my iPhone and changing the hotspot password. I was finally able to get this to connect to the phone. So once I was able to connect to the phone, the smart controller, and maybe the drone too, they were actually kind of activated or registered at that point. One or the other was the term. And so then I was alerted that I needed to do the firmware upgrades. But the week before, last Saturday when I originally tried to get this going, I hooked the smart controller up to my MacBook Pro and did the firmware updates with the DJI Assistant Go 2, and it said they were done, so I thought I was good. But again, when I got this activated, it said I still need to do them. So back again, I hooked this back up to the laptop, opened up DJI Go Assistant 2, and did the firmware updates. And this time, they were good. They took. And from that point on, I was able to work my way through the menus, get everything set up properly, learn the interface. I was able to get the DJI Go 4 app working. I was able to do a test flight, and basically all my problems are solved. But thinking back on my troubleshooting process, I think my issue was that I kept getting stuck on screen 4 on the smart controller. The first screen was you selected your language. The second screen you agreed to terms, and the third screen was you picked the country that you were using the device in. But then you get to screen 4, which was wanting you to connect to Wi-Fi, the internet, and that's where I was stuck. I could not go any further to do other things people suggested. The DJI supports it was suggesting I change the name of my Wi-Fi router and password, but I had too many devices connected that I was going to go in and change them all just for one device. And obviously, if I had 15 devices connected to my router and one device wouldn't connect, it wasn't the router's problem, it was the device's problem. But I think with those firmware updates, once I finally got them done properly, and they may not have been able to be done properly until the device was activated by passing screen 4 with a Wi-Fi connection. At that point, I discovered in a menu that you could make the smart controller forget something you had connected to. So I made it forget my home network, even though I never did actually connect to it. So I forgot it. I hit the forget button. So then I rebooted the smart controller and went back and tried to connect to the network again with the same username and password, and all of a sudden, like magic, it worked. It connected. So now I'm connected. Now I was able to connect to both the home network and the iPhone hotspot. And it was working so well that I went to the shore this weekend, and at my shore house I have a different, router and password and network name, and it connected to that too. So the connection issues are solved, and I think it's all because of the firmware upgrades I wasn't able to do because I couldn't get past screen 4 to get them done properly. Even though I tried to do it with the DJI Go Assistant 2, I don't think they really took because I couldn't get the device activated. Again, that's his theory. I don't know that for sure, but it seemed that once I was able to properly do those updates after the device is activated, that kind of ended all my issues. The recap is everything's working fine. I was frustrated last weekend. I wasn't getting the support I needed from DJI. I was talking about returning it, and again, I think the key was just a firmware upgrade, and but the problem is catch-22. I couldn't do that properly until I could connect to Wi-Fi on the fourth screen on the controller. So and it was frustrating that the people that were helping me at DJI Support didn't understand that, and rather than having me do things that weren't going to help, and mine was a known issue. If you Google search the issue, tons of people had the same problem. So the support people should be aware of that and be able to jump right to, the fix that I eventually worked myself, rather than having me doing a wild goose chase, changing my, doing things that weren't going to help. And I thank everybody who watched my first video on this and made suggestions. I mean, I read them all and tried. I mean, a lot of people suggested I reset the smart controller, but the problem was you had to get past screen 4 to get to the option to reset the device. So a lot of suggestions were good suggestions if you could get past screen 4, which I was stuck at. So it was kind of an unusual situation. Like I said, it's a bit of a catch-22 there, but I'll end on a high note here. I was able to fly this weekend on the beach during the day in very bright sunlight, a situation where I'd usually avoid because I really couldn't see my screen well enough to really see my telemetry or change settings. Where this screen with the 100 nits, I believe, I was able to view the screen, see all my information like I had never ever had been able to do before in bright sunlights without some kind of a shade or stand under a tree or some kind of a elaborate setup that shade the screen. So it really was all it was cracked up to be on that test on the beach. So I don't want to make this too long, but I hope somebody gets something out of this video if somebody's stuck at the same spot I was. But okay, well, that's it. I'm going to wrap this video up, and we'll see you in the next one.